That's so watery. Well, I'm back. It's been a little bit, but things have happened, and I figured I owed you guys an explanation. So, I may have said on social media, I can't remember, but I think I may have said to you guys that I was heading to Alabama for a weekend, and that happened, and it was fun. It was really cool. I went to Florence. It was a great time. Had some of the best pizza of my life there at a place called Riccatoni's, I think is what it's called. If you're out there and you live in Florence, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I went there, and it was great. It was cool, and we had a good time. Came back on a Tuesday, and everything seemed to be going well. I was going to kick back up and do the videos on Wednesday, but my mom got a call Wednesday night that said that my grandfather was in the process of having a heart attack. Now, I don't know if I've ever told you guys this before, but my grandfather lives roughly 5 hours away from us in Southwest Virginia. And so that's a big deal. He was going to the local hospital there where he lives in Stewart, Virginia. And he went there, and they were going to ship him over to Mount Airy, North Carolina to do better research and things of that nature to see what was going on. So my mom and grandmother took off on Wednesday, and they went to go be with him, and they went to Mount Airy with him, and then they found out that he was going to be sent to Winston-Salem because they had discovered that he had blockage in 3 of his arteries. One was 75%, the other was 85%, and the other was 90%. So that's a pretty big deal. And he had some blockage in a 4th artery, but it was a 30% blockage. Me and my dad went over on Friday to North Carolina, and that's when we met him at Winston-Salem at Forsyth, and it was, it's a huge hospital. I just want to tell you all, it's easily, if you go on all the floors and walk from one end to the other, you're probably walking a good 5 miles. I mean, that thing is huge. But they decided to go with a quadruple bypass surgery and open heart, of course. And that was super scary because that's a really risky heart surgery. And but it's what was needed in order to get him to not have a heart attack and die. It was going to save his life. And so he was all right with it. My mom was obviously very nervous. I was nervous, but I knew that it was probably the best choice. And so Friday morning, when me and my dad were going over, he had his procedure, and it started at 6:30 in the morning, and it ended around noon, I think. And he came out great. He recovered super fast. One of his nurses said that it's one of the fastest recoveries, especially for somebody at his age, that she had seen in a long time. He's 81. So, I mean, that's a big deal. I mean, I think it was 7 hours or so after the surgery, they already had him up and sitting upward in a chair, which if you guys know anything about, the medical field or anything like that, you know that that's a big step, especially, just after having surgery. And so it was a pretty big deal. We were there from Friday until Wednesday in Winston-Salem, and it was it was cool, it was cool to see how all that stuff was done, but it was pretty nerve-wracking, because you didn't know if he was going to continue to get well or if he was going to do good and then backslide. You just didn't know. So, it was pretty scary, but things continued to go well. So well, in fact, that he was actually released a day early. His surgeon had planned on releasing him on a Thursday, the Thursday following his surgery, up to a rehab facility in Stewart, Virginia called Blue Ridge. And that was going to be the plan. But he was doing so good, and he got better so fast that they said, you know what, you get to go a day early. So he got to go on Wednesday, and of course they picked the day where it rained a whole heck of a lot, and so yeah, that was fun. But we got him there, we got him settled in, and things are looking really, really good for him. He feels so much better. You can just see it in his face. He just feels so much better. And they've discovered, or not necessarily discovered, but they're thinking that some of his back issues with his pain and things of that nature are coming from the blockage in his arteries. And so, with that being clean now, he's, they're hoping that he can have less back pain, which would be phenomenal for him. And this is a big deal really because, prior to him having this incident, I could tell that things were just going downhill for him. He was not acting like himself. He was not feeling well. I could tell, he was just... He wasn't depressed, but he was just, slowing down, and it didn't look good, and we were scared. I mean, we were really scared, and then this, made it even more scary. But knowing that he is doing so good right now, and that his projection is positive, they're, we're a whole lot more at peace. And, things are just looking well. Things are looking great for him. And, we're back home now, obviously. And, we're going to keep in touch with him. My mom is planning on going back up there in 2 weeks or so to visit him and to check and make sure that he's still doing good. And so, that's really that's why I haven't been making videos. It feels like it's been a long time since I've made some videos, but it's understandable, especially given the circumstance. But I knew you all would understand, but I figured I needed to give you guys an explanation as to where I was, why I wasn't making videos. But now you guys know, so things will be back up to normal starting Wednesday. I'll have some more For Honor footage, and I'll have an Overwatch video for you guys too. Season 4 started while I was gone, and so I'm going to be playing some placement matches and see what I can do there. And yeah, that's really all I got to say. So I'm back. Things are going to be looking, pretty much the same, and that's it. So if you feel like liking this video, then do like the video. Also, you can follow me on my social medias. The links are in the description down below, and the names are at the top of the screen here. If you want to see the last video I did, which was a For Honor gameplay footage video thingy, then it's over here. There's an annotation over here, and there's also going to be a description down below for that. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And if you guys are new to the channel, then please subscribe, and I will hopefully be back on a normal schedule. But yeah, thanks guys for supporting, and that's all I gotta say. See y'all in the next one.